example. The statement of example is very simple. We just want to find out the factorial value of any number entered through keyboard. We want to find out factorial value of any number entered through keyboard. Now factorial, we know it is multiplication like this. If you want to find out 5 factorial, then you have to say 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, and 120 is the factorial value. So we'll enter one number 5 and we will find out the factorial value of this number. So program statement will be find factorial of given number. We want to enter one number from keyboard and find factorial of that respective number here. We know how to find factorial. Suppose if you want to find factorial of 5, just multiply it by 4, 3, 2, 1, and answer will be 120. So this is what we want to do. So we need to create a sequence which starts from value of n, means suppose if you talk in terms of variable, and it should multiply by it n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, and likewise here up to 1 here. So here we are creating one variable n which will hold this value what we are entering from keyboard. So we want to find out factorial of n. So for this purpose we need to create a sequence like this. Now this sequence will start with this value n minus 1 because n is already there. So here what we are creating, initially we are just storing value of n into one temporary variable t, and now we want to create this sequence and want to traverse this sequence by using for loop. So writing for loop, I is a variable which represents every single value of that sequence, and we are using range function to create this sequence. Now imagine value of n is 5, so your sequence should be 4, 3, 2, 1. So range function first parameter is a starting value of sequence. So in our case it will be n minus 1 because from that value we want to start. Next parameter is the last value, stopping value. Now see, stopping value is not inclusive. Means if you want to go up to 1, you should say 0. If you want to go up to 2, you should say 1. So this parameter is not inclusive. So when you say 0, it starts at value 1. And last parameter also we will provide because default step or default value for increment is 1. Now we are generating this loop in reverse fashion. So our step is minus 1. We want to decrement it. So last parameter will be minus 1. So see how this range function is here. Suppose value of n is 5. So our range function looks somewhat like this. Like this. So starting value is 4. Ending value is 0. Don't use word ending value. It's a stopping value. So 0 is a stopping value, means end value will be 1. And this loop works in a reverse fashion because step is minus 1. So range will create that sequence and for loop will traverse through that sequence, and I represents every single value of that sequence. So what is our operation? Operation is just this, that we want to multiply this n by this I. So instead of n we will use t because t also contains same value. So here we are saying t is equal to t into I, and that's also one line program. Here if you want to see in detail how it will work, suppose value of n is 5, so value of t will be 5, initial value of I will be 4 because we are starting this loop from n minus 1. So this multiplication in first iteration is 5 into 4, so that will be 20 that we are storing in variable t. Next time value of I will be 3 because we are decrementing it by 1. Value of t is already 20, so this multiplication will be 20 into 3. Answer is 60. That once again we are copying into variable t. Next time value of I will be 2 because it will get decremented by 1 once again. Value of t is 60, so this will be 60 into 2, 120. That once again we will store into this variable t. Next time value of I will be 1. So this multiplication will be like this, 120 into 1. Answer once again gets stored into variable t. Next time value of I will be 0 and your loop will break because 0 is a stopping value. So whatever answer is getting stored into this variable t. So just print t and that will be your answer here. So if you run this code and enter value of n as a 5, answer will be 120. So see, this is a range function which is creating that sequence 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and this is a for loop which travels through that sequence, and this is one single statement code to find out factorial of a given number.